today is experiences in the furry community. Now, I will be honest, I'm gonna figure this out real quick. You guys, if you guys want to join, I would be glad to have you guys join. Honestly, I feel like it's one of those days. I think maybe question and answers should be a thing, and we're just gonna wait for a couple of people, see how this works. Lighting, stickers, FX, mute. Well, okay. So, we're gonna join. I'm gonna chow on this bowl of stuffing, because, Thanksgiving can come whenever. Now, to be honest with you guys, yeah, I shaved. I screwed up. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like my face. I hate this. I hate this. You're asking probably what happened. I'll be honest with you. Even I don't know what happened. Like, I just, the world today just said, you know what? We're gonna make you miss out while you're shaving, and it happened. It happened. The world just said, screw you. So, so while we're waiting, um, you know, there's a lot of things I've talked about, and one of them I really want to talk about, and I don't know if I've talked about this. I haven't really bothered to check this out, but is to talk about my experience in the furry community. Now, let me be honest. It started off very. I think it started off like everyone else started. With who I am, and what was going on in my high school days, and to be honest with you, having having that experience. I'm gonna move you guys over here because I feel like there's better lighting. Having that experience, you know, uh, really changed the perspective on my life. To be honest with you, um, and you know, going through all that, going through where I'm going, in life was a very weird feeling. Welcome in. If you want to join, feel free. We're doing a Q&A today, so we're gonna talk about if you're part of the furry community, what your furry experiences was like. You know, um, so my experience in the furry community is you know, it was hard. It was challenging. It was questionable. It was like any high schooler and would go through, like, oh my God, who am I? What am I doing? Where do I belong? I go through all this as a high schooler, and then I found the furry community. Now, I think this story relates to anyone who was in high school. Welcome, welcome. If you're new, thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Um, so if you guys have any questions, if you guys don't want, I don't even know if you guys can join. I don't even know if that's possible yet. If you guys are new, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button so that you guys know that you guys can follow more of the stuff. I'm gonna be doing more lives and things like that. Um, so most of my experience in high school. If you want to join, you can. We're doing a Q&A. Um, So, most of my experience in all of this was really interesting. I liked werewolves. I was a high schooler. I loved anime. I was a D&D nerd. Um, and it just turned out to be one of those things. I was on a path of curiosity. I think this happened like after my freshman year. So, all this happened, and exploring all of this, I came across what was called Wolf's Rain. I don't know. It was an anime, and they would say play next video. It was like a screen here and play next video, and you have all your lists like usual. And let me see. Let me see. Through some reason. So through all of this, as my experience happened, through all of this experience in high school, I got bullied. I got really bullied. It really sucked. And it was really weird that, like, a lot of people did not understand this. People did not see this. I kept everything I had away from people, even from friends and family. And it was just one of those things I just didn't want people to know. And um, my escape landed up being on a computer screen for the fact that, I found the furry community. And I had a friend, and I always asked myself, she would wear a foxtail, and I wonder why she would wear it. And to be honest with you, it didn't make any sense to me. As a high school, you're still trying to figure out your freaking identity, so you have no fucking clue what's going on. You either want to be emo or you want to be, the big jock in the high school, really famous and shit. So, anyways, after all that was happening, I I came across a picture of a persona or somebody's persona or an art piece dancing at a rave. I didn't know what a rave was either. I was a high schooler. So, um, as this was going on, um, I clicked on the video and I quickly realized it was EDM music. It was just a compilation of art pieces and like music, and it was really beautiful. It was really fascinating to me in my mindset, and I really loved rock music. I really loved electro dance music and stuff like this, and unfortunately, as doing so in so many ways, welcome guys, welcome. As doing so, clicking on this thing, I got very fascinated. Now, there's a joke in here somewhere, and there's a lot of people who are gonna be like, "Wow, that's kind of terrifyingly scary and messed up in a lot of ways." Um, I got caught red-handed. Now, I'll be completely honest with you guys. The fact that I got caught red-handed for this situation, it, my mom did not understand what was going on. My teacher had no idea what was going on. Um, and unfortunately, my teacher supposedly thought that I was looking at the NSFW stuff. Now, for those who don't know the abbreviation of what NSFW is, it's called Not Safe for Work, and it's basically compiled of like sexual aspects and lewd stuff and things like that. And anyways, if you guys do not know, look up what the meaning of NSFW. You'll it's just not safe for work stuff. My teacher thought I was looking at that, and unfortunately went upon their way to supposedly print out some pictures in a yellow folder and have a sit down meeting with my mom. I will not say exactly what the pictures were, but I will say that my teacher went as far as to print them and put them in the yellow folder and supposedly show my mom. No, that's not what happened. I don't really know what my teacher was trying to do, trying to get me expelled or kick the hell out of high school. But to be completely honest with you, that teacher had some nerve. Anyways, long story short, in the nick of time, we sat down. He had the folder in front of him, and unfortunately, you know, my friend walked in on this meeting, and bless his soul, I love this man to death. I still talk to him to this day. Saved my ass. And I mean really saved my ass. Walked in, and my teacher immediately opens the folder. My mom gasped. My teacher said, yeah, this is what he's been looking at. And that's exactly not what I've been looking at. I'm looking, and I go straight to the computer. My friend walks past me, and he goes, dude, what do you have this on your table for? You can get fired for this. And unfortunately, my teacher just says, well, I'm just showing an example. He's like, dude, that's not even what he's looking at. What the hell is wrong with you? So anyways, my teacher closes the folder. I bring up the stuff that I was looking on the computer, and my mom was like, well, I don't want you a part of the community. After I graduated, it was still really hard to get my mom to open up to me, or me to open up to my mom about me being part of the furry community, because she was on edge after that meeting. Like I said, this was like after freshman year, so I had like 2 more years to go or whatever, and it was really freaking difficult to get this going. Now let's fast forward to the fact that like I graduated and everything. After I graduated, I kind of dropped being part of the furry community, and being part of the community. Sorry. Being a part of the furry community was a really big thing for me because I felt like I found myself where I was and where I wanted to be. And to be honest with you, a lot of people don't really find themselves then and there in high school. They either go down the wrong path, they turn to drugs, they get bullied, they get hurt, things just go really bad. Um, Let me see. So let's see here. Here's what we can do. Can we? Oh, we can do this. Okay, cool. We can do this. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Experience. Hold on. Okay. Done. Perfect. Cool. Okay. So we got the Q&A up. Cool. Sweet. Perfect. So, unfortunately, for what was going on after high school, I completely dropped the furry community. I moved on to better things. I, wanted to start a gaming. I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I didn't know exactly where to go. And with all of this kind of just stopped everything that was going on. And, after I completely forgot everything. So after this, I completely bumped into a YouTuber called Majira Strawberry. A lot of you guys probably know Majira Strawberry if you're part of the furry community. Um, the first two fursuiters I found out was Ari's and Skittles. Now they're old time furry content creators or whatever. I don't know if they're still around or whatever. But I found these two, and that's where I started off in high school. And I wanted a fursuit, and I thought it was cool. And it gave me some thought process of really how I wanted things to go. Now, unfortunately, as this was going on, after high school, things just became slowing down, and I wanted to do gaming or whatever. But some reason I saw Majira Strawberry, and the thing I wanted to do was I wanted to incorporate gaming and my persona. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know if I was going to get a fursuit. I didn't know how I was going to get a fursuit. I realized they were freaking expensive. Give me a second. I'm going to, take a drink real quick. And, through all of this, there were so many questions about, what I wanted to do with after high school and stuff. And gaming was the biggest thing. Gaming was my intentions of having to, get away from all the craziness, make new community friends, and you know, after all that, was the real big question of what do I want to name my YouTube channel, and where do I want to start? How do I want to start it? Well, how I started the YouTube channel is going to be completely funny because I went to Walmart one year and it was Halloween and they were selling fox heads. Oh my god, I went giddy and I lost my fucking shit and I like picked it up and I ran towards my mom and I'm like, Mom, look, it's a big fox head, I can wear it, I can use it for my fursuit, blah, blah, blah. And, there's an old channel out there that's called Mickey Rooney Fox. I will share it later and stuff like that. It's a dead channel, and I feel like it's not a dead channel because it's still out there. It's still floating around. Um, you know, and it was just one of those things that I was so fucking happy to sit here and look at my mom and go, I want to wear this. I want to buy this. That day they sold out completely. Literally, that day they put them on the shelves. They sold out completely. We were at Target, and I saw it on the shelf. And I picked it up, and they were starting to make little brand, go getter fursuit heads and whatever, and it made out of complete plastic, and the jaw moved and everything like that. And so, as doing so, indeed, I bought it. I ran home. I turned on my YouTube channel, and I went full on like Fox mode. Um, for a lot of you guys, I don't think I started doing this until after like everything happened of going to Arizona, but I started making fox noises. God, what I would give to, I've learned to have done that a couple. I did it for years, but I stopped doing it. Long story short, bought the fursuit, head home, and I think I had for about a couple of years. It immediately started falling apart. The styrofoam started falling apart. It was a very weird feeling for me to kind of just put this thing on and be like, man, this is like me. Um, and it was really, really touching because I felt like me. I felt like who I was. My mom didn't like it. And granted, everything that happened, it was really hard. Fast forward to another year later after high school, I went to the Bass Pro Shop. Christmas time, I ran into a bunch of fursuiters. Granted, I would not fucking believe it. I lost my fucking shit. First time meeting fursuiters, suiting, and I went giddy mode. I screamed. Literally, my mom goes, fursuiters, and I went, what? Excuse me, I ran in Bass Pro Shop so goddamn fast, I didn't even know how to put on brakes. And my mom, I could not believe this. The words that came out of her mouth were, he talks about you guys all the time. And the words that came out of my mom's mouth next was, you guys are his heroes. Oh, it tore me open. When hearing that, I realized my mom was fucking paying attention to everything. She didn't hate it. She was paying attention to how I was responding to this. Sorry. Anyways, sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional because she was my biggest fan. So anyways, fast forward to the Bass Pro Shop and stuff like that. We took pictures, we had conversations, and it took off from there. And my mom, we left the Bass Pro Shop, and she looked at me and says, so, you want to get one of those? I didn't really understand what she meant. And she says, well, I have some money saved up. And, if you find me the right people to make this, or however you want to do it, or whatever you're going to do, let me know. I will give you the money, and for your next birthday that's coming around, I will give you the next $100, or the next $900 to go get this. And she did. She got me. She sent me the money, and she got me my fursuit head. I had to make her make it. I don't know if they're still around. I haven't talked to them in a long time, and so far and so forth, I got my fursuit head. And little did I know, for the first time in my life, my aunt, who was dying from cancer, I have an old photo, and she sent me money as well. And she knew that I was bisexual. She didn't really like question everything. She knew, bless her soul. But these things, the experience I went through being part of the furry community, it taught me that there's a beginning, and then there's time and a place for things to happen. And just the way things were, just the experience that I went through in part of the community, just it showed me that there are acts of kindness. It's gonna take time. It is weird. It's very hard for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't grasp this concept. There's lots of things that people don't understand. Being part of the furry community was a very big question mark over my head, and how I joined it, I'll never forget the experience. After like 4 or 5 years, after really just dipping my whole foot, getting my fursuit finally, I felt complete. I felt who I was. But for some reason, after my mom had passed away, I couldn't wear the fursuit no more. And to be honest with you, I think I'm gonna make a comeback because I think you guys need to see the comeback. I think you guys need to see this bounce back, this rebound. You guys need to see me come back as who I was. And I know this is a gaming channel for everybody, but there needs to be a little bit of extra, I think. And so, you know, I think tomorrow will be the day I sit here and I say, I'm glad I made that decision to put him back on. I'm glad that, I went through the experiences I did, and it's time to fully just jump in and, do the crazy shit that I was meant to do from the beginning. Without you guys, like I said, it wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be real. It would not exist. This channel would not exist because of you guys. For those who supported me in the furry community, for those who supported this channel, for those who supported me anywhere around the world. If you're from, Egypt or whatever, you guys supported me. And this is why I do what I do. So, without further ado, you guys see the Q&A here. It says, how did you guys join the furry community? Let me know your guys' story. I want to know. I want to feel that experience that you guys felt, how you joined the furry community. I want you guys to just open up. Because in this channel, we're allowed to express ourselves and who we are and what we want to do for our future. I mean, I could not think of a better way to go about doing this. You guys have done a lot by just joining and subbing and commenting. Now, I don't know if the Q&A, I realized I have some other stuff I had to do. I don't know if the Q&A is still going to be here when I shut down the live stream. We're at 22 minutes, and there's Estella here. Hi, Stella. Hi, Stella, girl. Oh, there's Estella. There's Estella, girl. Yeah? You wake up from your nappies? You wake up from your nappies? Yeah? And she's a pity. He's a tinky pity. Yes, he is. And then there's a bear. Hi, buddy. Hi. You want to see the bear, guys? Let's see the bear. Let's see the bear. Come here, buddy. Here's the boy. Look at the bear. Look at the little bear. Okay, go on. Yeah. But, look at the Q&A is here. If it's still on while the live stream is cut, you guys, get to, put your answers and questions that you want, and I will answer them later. So I hope you guys have an amazing year. Well, we're still kind of trying to figure out the crazy shit that's going on in this world, but as a community, that's how we stay together, and I will see you all in the next video.
I thought you were talking to yourself.
Nah, I was doing live stream.